Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be checking out a device that has had a lot of controversy behind it, a device that I'm actually somewhat excited about and maybe even unsure really what my expectations are at this point. Today I'm going to be checking out the Solana Saga, or ultimately known as the Osom OV1. Osom, the hardware company that designed and manufactured this device, was founded by several folks from the Essential team, and that's what was kind of really exciting about this device. It was kind of like the second iteration of Essential phone, really, and unfortunately, what ended up happening, maybe some funding happened, and then they partnered with Solana, sorry, and essentially this became the Solana Saga, to now where it's a Solana device, no longer Osom, and there's no Osom branding on the box whatsoever. Saga and the Solana logo on the side. So originally when Osom was talking about launching this device, nearing kind of production period, they were talking about maybe a $600 device, but when the Solana Saga essentially was announced, the price skyrocketed to $1,000. That's a lot of money for essentially, if you want to think about it, a first iteration of a device from a company. So there's definitely uncertainty, software, hardware, all of that. So we're going to take a look at the unboxing and give first impressions on this. Now, this is meant for like the Web3 development future with NFT crypto, focused on security. Now, that is not really anything that I'm into, but I'm into hardware and Android smartphones, and that's why we're taking a look at it here today. So let's go ahead and get this unboxed. I'll go over the hardware, the specs, and we'll get it turned on, set up, and actually go through the software of it. So the box, very plain black. Now, that's a very interesting kind of minimal unboxing experience. And then inside, we have just kind of semi-ejector tool and a cable. And now the cable is something that is super special. I want to talk about it just for a moment. This cable incorporates a hardware switch on it. Essentially what this does is it disallows data transfer from a hardware level. So it disconnects the wires or the pins for any data transfer. So when you're connecting this up to a public power outlet, for example, in an airport, you can turn that on or turn on the switch, and then it'll strictly only charge, and you don't have to worry about anyone stealing data, which is great, especially coming from a device that focuses on crypto. We also have the first party case and the tempered glass screen protector. There's no really other accessories by third parties, so that's why I picked it up at the time of purchase as well. Now this device, let me go over some of the specs here first. So first, this is running Android 13 out of the box, so that's at least a good thing to note. Up front here is a 6.67 inch OLED display. It is, according to their website, a 1080p, a full HD plus display, AMOLED with 120 Hertz refresh rate. Now this device, in terms of its materials, is something special, and this is where the kind of essential design cues come into play, because the founder of Osom was the hardware engineer for the Essential phone, Jason Keats. And here on the back, we're going to pull this nice little Solana sticker off of it. On the back, we have a ceramic finish, or ceramic material back. The sides of the device, the frame, is stainless steel, and the buttons and the camera here are made out of titanium. So extremely premium quality materials in this device, and that is attributing to its weight here. I would essentially say it's a brick. This is a 247 gram device. This is not light, especially coming from a Pixel device. But this feels solid, I can tell you that. So premium materials all around, and at least that's what you're getting for the price, essentially. On the back here, something special we have not seen in a long time is a optical fingerprint scanner. On the right hand side, we have your volume and power button. That's a very tiny power button, but those buttons feel really nice, and oh, they feel really good, I will tell you that. Up top, you just have your antenna lines and your microphone. On the side, you have your SIM card slot. Now this does support 512 gigs of internal storage, but there is expandable storage built into this, so you can put in an SD card into here. Now, one of the controversies of this device is that it's running the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. So with it being 2023 and Gen 2 already out, this is already an outdated device in terms of the processor. 12 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of internal storage. So you are solid in terms of storage altogether. In terms of battery capacity, 4,100 milliamp hours, so very nice large battery coupled with the 1080p display and AMOLED, so we should get some really great battery life out of this. Cameras here. On the back, we have a dual camera setup that is a 50 megapixel wide and then 12 megapixel ultra wide, and on the front we have a 16 megapixel front camera here with your flashlight right here. So this is, man, this feels really nice. And just to show you, I have my essential phone in ocean depths right here, and yeah, two devices that are beyond any other device ever made in terms of hardware and materials. On the bottom, you have your speaker and a USB-C port for charging and data. So thankfully, in terms of connectivity, this supports 5G, LTE, of course. You have Bluetooth 5.2, ultra wideband supposedly, so I'll see what this works with in terms of Verizon. Let me pull this front little plastic front screen guard off of it. There's no built-in tempered glass or protective film. We'll go to power it up and hold that power button, vibrated, and there is that AMOLED display. Now, one thing is there's like this silver ring up on the top here around the front camera, which is it kind of takes away the look of the overall device from the aesthetics standpoint. And we don't see the bezels, but there is a little bit of bezel around the full display. But this is, again, this is a large, hefty device. We're talking height 164 millimeters, 75 millimeters wide, and a thickness of 8.4 millimeters thickness. But this feels really good. You have a flat display, so no curved screen or anything like that. We're gonna go ahead and get this set up, and I will be right back. All right, everyone, so I got connected to Wi-Fi, signed into my Google account here, and I'm gonna be testing out and setting up the fingerprint now, since this is an optical fingerprint scanner on the back, and we're gonna see, okay, it is. Don't know what's going on. Maybe potentially a software issue. Let's do that later. Seed Vault. So this is for any sort of like crypto, NFT, stuff like that, to act as a storage, secure payments and transfers and minting and all that. I will be honest, I'm telling you right now, I don't know things in that realm. There are other influencers and videos out there that talk about that. I will not be, just because I don't have that knowledge and I don't want to talk about it and say anything wrong. Let's turn off the nightlight. All right, and so here is the setup. There's really very little bloat on here. There's the dApp store, which is for Web3 apps, and then pretty much Google services. We're going to go through some of the settings here. Seed Vault right up the top to manage settings there. I'm going to go ahead and, of course, what I always do, change the enabled USB debugging, and then also change the animation window to half. There's your life tip for the day. We're going to do OEM unlocking. I would like to be able to unlock the bootloader and root the device. So we'll see how that works. Might need to try and somehow obtain factory images so we can patch the boot image of this, but let's go into battery here. Adaptive battery. Nothing really that stands out there. Display. We're at 55% brightness. We are in dark theme, so there's no OLED or anything like that. Colors boosted, adaptive, and natural. Keep it adaptive. Play a white balance. Interesting. So here it defaults to 90 Hertz. We can go to 60 or 120 Hertz, but I think the 90 Hertz will give us a good balance here. Overall, this feels really great, I will tell you that. The back has a very just like smooth finish to it. It is completely solid. There's no like hollow feeling about it whatsoever. Especially when you tap on the front of the display. Some devices have like this hollowness when you tap on the front. This is like completely solid, I will tell you that. So yeah, we're just going through some of these settings here. Wallpaper style, since this is Android 13, you have the themed icons, the Material U theming colors as well. So that is something that you'll be able to set up, and based on your wallpaper and everything else there. Hoping to be able to, like I said, root and get this customized some more. For some additional customization, using some Magisk modules and things like that. So I'll definitely stay tuned for any sort of videos, because I do plan to make some content on that. Like I said, the dApp store for Web3, apps and stuff like that, and you'll be able to get a special NFT in Mint. Again, I don't know what it pertains to, but you're supposed to get a special NFT of some sort that's only specific to Saga owners. So really, like I said, this is stock. This is like AOSP Android right here in terms of features and the whole OS. So if stock Android is what you're looking for, then this is what you're going to get. There are those bezels up on the front, so pretty uniform in terms of the top and the bottom and left and right, so that's nice. What we can do is haptics feel fine. I wouldn't say they're like mind-blowing or anything. They're not like strong and firm. There's a slight like vibration that definitely stems down from this area of the device. Overall, the display is nice and bright, I will say that, and we're just at 100% brightness, and then we're going to be able to go down to, because of its AMOLED, it's going to be quite dim, especially if you're using black background of some sort. So here is, let's take a look at the camera. And again, I have not installed any sort of updates on this yet, so this is fresh out of the box. I'm sure there are updates, but that is something that I am a little concerned about. I've chatted in the Discord for Solana and the Saga channels, and right now it appears that April security patch is the latest right now. Surprise, surprise, there's not a single update on here yet. Let's check out, see if I can get that fingerprint set up. Maybe it was just an initial bug when setting up the device. I've wiped my finger off. Yes, I know where the fingerprint scanner is. Yeah, no, that's not working at all. Solana, this is a great start to your first device. Hats off to such great quality and software. I feel like Osom would have definitely done a much better job. So weird, like it doesn't work, but then it works. It is not consistent at all. If this is the quality of the fingerprint scanner, then this is going to be a pretty poor experience. I hope they can really fix this in software. Because it's like every couple taps that I'm doing, it's not even reading it, and then it reads it a couple times. My finger is completely covering this sensor. And I'm holding the device like I would if I were to unlock it, so I'm not doing, and I was literally one step away of getting my right finger added. Try this again. Let's see how the left finger works. Okay, so once it actually got enrolled, the fingerprint scanner is fine. I say that and it failed that one time right there. Yeah, I don't know. Fingerprint scanner is touch and go for sure. Well, considering that there's no updates available, then this is the camera experience we're going to get. So auto HDR, auto, settings, what settings we got here? Hold for video, self-mirroring, aspect ratio, grid lines. Okay. Very little settings. So basically to change your camera for the rear, you can just press this little icon, which mirrors that of the rear camera module back here. So that's a nice little kind of fun little unique touch design language wise. So for video, we have 30 frames a second, 60 at 2K. At 4K, we get 30 or 60 frames a second. At 1080p, we get 30 or 60. So again, you're not getting any sort of slow-mo or anything like that. We have some video stabilization right there as well. Yeah, this is bare bones as it gets, to be honest. And then our front-facing camera here. So really, I'm not having high hopes for a lot of this now. At this point, this is pretty frustrating, to be honest, because you can't rely on a device in the hopes that a company is going to update it to make it better. You have to take it at face value for what it is right now. And as we're restoring devices, the phone is fairly warm, all in this upper half of the device. That is one thing to note. Ceramic is actually a very good conductor of heat. So yes, you are going to feel heat a good bit on the back just because of how well ceramic conducts heat compared to like aluminum, for example. Now, in also the Discord chat for Solana, they have stated that factory images aren't available right now. They're going to work with their internal team and discuss if that's something that will be available. And if they are not, I think potentially rooting this might be pretty difficult, because I think the only way you might be able to do is if you take an OTA update and get a logcat log and then capture the URL that the OTA came from, download that file, and then you should be able to use an extractor to pull the files from the OTA possibly, but it's hard to tell. We'll have to see. Hopefully I can root this and maybe put Pixel 5 Magisk module on here, do some other stuff in terms of customizations, Iconify, something I like to use, changing the layout of the taskbar and stuff. So in terms of custom ROMs, maybe Lineage OS might pick this up, who knows, but we'll have to really wait and see. I'm kind of hesitant to unbox these just for the sake of me maybe returning the device. I don't know, because this fingerprint scanner is not working. This is the Solana Saga. I mean, this is what it is. Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset. Again, like I said, 12 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, 4100 milliamp hour battery, 120 hertz, 1080p, 6.67 inch full HD display, up to 120 hertz refresh rate. A massive device that feels amazing because of all the quality, the engineering that goes into here. We do also, I did forget to mention, there is an earpiece speaker right up here behind the glass. I do tend to make an additional video or two on this. We'll see how the upcoming days are for this. And then I will also check out these two accessories. So if you haven't subscribed, and hit that bell notification icon, so that way you'll be notified when I actually release some additional content on the Solana Saga. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or any curiosities about this device, leave them down below. Follow me on social channels on Twitter, Panton_Chris, and follow me as I kind of take this journey on with the Solana Saga. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. This is kind of also a fingerprinty device on the back, as you might see already, but more than likely you'll use this on the case. There's no accessories besides the first party one, so that's unfortunate. You're not going to be getting nice custom cases or really any cheap tempered glass screen protectors. These were both like 20-25 bucks. So that's pretty steep for a screen protector, and I think this is just a TPU case. Yeah, so here you go. Here is this says just designed by Osom Products, distributed by Solana Mobile Incorporated. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my unboxing of the Solana Saga. I will see you around. You guys take care. Until next time.